Hi, my fellow target individuals of patriotic Americans. I am doing this video to tell you how I'm doing and also to say Happy National Mushroom Day. I just learned this today, that today is National Mushroom Day. And it was from Bing's homepage. I'm going to be showing you my mushrooms before I talk about my target individual experience. I found indigo milkcap in the woods today. Show you that it makes blue blood when it see it's blue inside. This is why it's called the indigo blue cap mushroom, because it's blue all over. This is what the indigo blue cap milkcap mushroom looks like. This was a rare found I found in the woods. I wasn't able to find any more. There's its stipe. I found some more mushrooms. I put this right here in order for it to mature before I do anything with it. And then there's a little blue-wit mushroom that I'm waiting for it to mature a little bit before I use it. I don't think it is going to mature. I'm going to put it in there anyways. I'm wearing my mushroom shirt. Those are puffball mushrooms and field mushrooms I want to be eating. And these are the fly garlics I found today up in the woods. I'm drying them out. And I found another blue-wit mushroom. There's 6 more in there in the woods. There's blue-wit mushrooms right there. I don't really have any other mushrooms to show you in here. Then I found a lot of acorns to make acorn powder and stuff that I put in this food dish. That dish right here. Here's my cordyceps mushrooms that are growing really well in here. I made mushroom coffee and coffee creamer today. It was too chunky and chewy to use as coffee creamer, and I had to sift it out in my coffee. That's about all the mushrooms I could show you. I want to show you this International Mushroom Day thing. National Mushroom Day. Did you know there is a day just for mushrooms? Every October 15th, National Mushroom Day invites us to discover their fascinating world. Take The amethyst laccaria, pictured here, also known as amethyst deceiver. Its bright purple color is dazzling when young, but it fades with age and weathering, making it tricky to identify. Despite its delicate, ever-changing on this day, 17 no holiday today.org. This is what I was doing today. I was actually participating in this and I didn't know because I've been harvesting so much mushrooms. National Mushroom Day holiday today. National Mushroom Day is observed every October 15th. It's a day to celebrate the fascinating world of mushrooms, their culinary versatility, ecological importance, and the role they play in both nature and our plates. History of contents. History of National Mushroom Day. Why in National Mushroom Day important? How to celebrate National Mushroom Day. National Mushroom Day dates table. While the exact origin and founder of this day are not clearly documented and observed, has gained recognition through food holiday calendars and by mushroom advocacy groups. It appears largely as grassroots celebration of fungi, embraced by growers, chefs, health groups, and mushroom lovers everywhere. Over the time, the day has grown into a moment for awareness, highlighted by only mushrooms as food, but their broader role in ecosystems, sustainability, and scientific curiosity. Daily holiday. Get a list of holidays every day for the. Okay. Why is National Mushroom Day important? Mushrooms are more than just a tasty addition to meals. They are powerful in both nutrition and ecology. They can be rich sources of vitamins, minerals, antioxidants, and often other umami boosts that enhance the flavor of dishes without heavy fats or calories. On this day, people are reminded to include these remarkable organisms in their diet and explore new kinds of mushrooms they may not have tried before. At the same time, mushrooms are key connectors in nature. Their underground networks, mycelium, help decompose organic material, recycle nutrients, and even enable plants to communicate and share resources. Recognizing mushrooms acknowledges that so much of life depends on unseen networks. National Mushroom Day that encourages us to pay attention to the small magical systems around us and treat fungi with curiosity and respect. It encourages trying different edible mushroom varieties. It highlights the nutritional, culinary value of mushrooms, promotes awareness of fungi ecological roles. It supports sustainable agriculture and fungal research. It brings together growers, chefs, and fungi enthusiasts. How to celebrate National Mushroom Day. One of the most enjoyable ways to mark National Mushroom Day is to cook with mushrooms. Try new species, oysters, shiitake, lion's mane, chanterelle, or experiment with a mushroom for a dish like mushroom risotto, stuffed caps, or creamy mushroom soup. Invite friends or family to share and compare favorite recipes. If you're drawn to nature, take the day as an opportunity to go on a guided mushroom walk or forage, and that's what I did today. Only if you're confident in the identification or under expert guidance, photograph different fungi, learn to distinguish edible, toxic types, and appreciate the beauty of the fungal diversity. You could also visit a local mushroom farm or farmer's market and chat with the growers about cultivation practices. Preparing a dish starring mushrooms you have never tried before. host tasty or of different mushroom preparations. Go on a nature walk or a guided mushroom forage, and that's what I did. Visit a mushroom farm or market and talk to growers. Share mushroom photos, facts, and recipes with friends and social media. Year 25, 15 Wednesday, 26, 15. Okay, it's all 15 in different days. So that's what I did today, evidently, without knowing it. I want to save this to my Facebook Messenger for notes. That's where I learned about it at. I wonder when National Rock and Jam Day will be. I wish that there was a National Man Day. Huh. Nope. And this Amethyst Deceiver thing is real cool. I'll do this. The Amethyst, next question. What's another thing for Amethyst Leucaria? Amethyst Deceiver, your answer. Okay, next. Amethyst Leucaria is also known as Amethyst Deceiver due to its bright color and can fade with age. Okay. What significant role do fungi like Amethyst Leucaria play in the ecosystem? Breaking down matter, water filtration. Not water filtration. Breaking down matter. Fungi such as Amethyst Leucaria are vital to the ecosystem as they break down dead organic matter. This process recycles nutrients back into the soil, supporting forest health and promoting tree growth through networks called mycorrhizae. Which of the following best describes the appearance of Amethyst Leucaria when young? Bright purple. Okay, I got them all right. I'm gonna get these spores offline and I'm gonna grow them in the woods. Okay, I already did the National Mushroom Day thing. Now I'm gonna get down to TI business. Trying to use my rock to keep the phone in place. I woke up this morning and I went back to sleep, and when I went back to sleep, I don't know if this would be called sleep paralysis, astral projection, or sleep manipulation, but it was if I was awake and in my room in this dream, and I was hyper aware of everything, and it was so real. And it was exactly the same look and feel to my bedroom in real life in this dream. In this dream, I was looking at my hallway through a large crack of my door because my door was open. And I saw something and I said, "Is that my cat?" And I said, and then I looked at it, it was no. It was eyes looking back at me. And then I told myself, that I didn't think that that was my cat. Then I was saying, is that a darkness being? Or some sort of being, and is that a light being? And I was saying, there is no way that that would be a light being, because all light beings are good, or something like that. I said something very stupid, because I was guessing what those eyes were looking back at me in my hallway were, and what I was looking at. It looked like eyes. And then what happened was is that a light being came in my room. It looked like something out of an X-File thing. This being did. This light being went in my room, and it was attacking me and acting hostile. It was really being really aggressive with me. It was horrible. This being looked like a human being, but it was a being that was not good at all. The being in my dream looked like this, but it was brighter and it was more robust. And when I said that all light beings are good, when I was being this dumbass in my dream, trying to guess what it was that was over there in my dream, in the dark, looking at me, because I was seeing weird things and I was aware that there was something going on. I was seeing flashes of light that I thought were eyes, and I was aware that there was something in my house. I don't know why in my dream. I just was aware that there was something in my house, and it was in the hallway between this cabinet and the rest of the hallway that isn't blocked off. And then what happened was, when I said that about the light being, that all light beings are good, it was like it got pissed off at me and it started attacking me whenever I said that all light beings are good. And it also was probably pissed off because I was aware of it, because I had some sort of sixth sense where I said the exact thing that actually was in my hallway that was the opposite to what I first thought it was, which was a being of darkness, a shadow being. It was a light being instead, and the eyes that I thought were looking at me were actually flashes of light that were coming off of this light being. And this light being was pissed off that I was aware of it too. And it came into my room like a military soldier getting mad and fixing about killing somebody. It came over here, the light beam came right over here, in this dream of mine, and it jolted to my bed where I was in bed in this dream, and it started to attack me. It started to hit me in this dream, and it started to it caused me to feel a lot of fear. Evidently, this thing can make people feel fear. Um, and then whenever I was in this dream, um, I was in shock because whenever I was in that dream, when I was being attacked by this light being, um, I realized I pissed it off, and I shouldn't have said anything, and I was saying this stuff in my mind, in my head, and when I was saying this stuff in my mind, the light being came in here and it started to attack me. So evidently this being in my dream had telepathic abilities to read my mind. Because I know there was no way in hell I was saying this shit out loud in my head. I would never say this shit out loud. Especially not at night when my mom and my brother are asleep. And I wouldn't have do that in a dream. Because even in a dream I knew that I am living at home with my family members. And that my family members would think it would be weird for me to just start saying things in the middle of the night. And then what happened, whenever I was in this dream and the light beam was starting to attack me, is that I was feeling really scared, and I woke up from it. And when I woke up from this dream, I had adrenaline and I had fear in my body, and I was getting pissed off at all kinds of things, including myself, especially myself for saying that fucking shit in my head in my dream. It wasn't a good thing to say that all light beings are good beings, because that evidently is kind of racist and xenophobia and a stereotype to say that. It's like saying all black people are dumb or black people are from the devil because their skin's black, which is no different than being a shadow being, a shadow figure in cryptology of the paranormal. Then I try to go back to bed and sleep. Then whenever went back to sleep, I saw the light being again when I went back to sleep, and I got into it. I don't know why, but the light being in my dream was hitting me again. It was hitting me in the bed again. It was making me feel fear. And what happened is that I got in touch with a dark side, a shadowy power of Saturn, and I realized that I had Saturn's abilities of darkness, Chronos, Thanos, Saturn's abilities of darkness, and Saturn was basically telling me that I need to use, there was a part of me that had to do with Saturn that told me I need to use my darkness abilities to protect myself from the light beam. Some shadowy force, some primordial darkness, primeval darkness that Saturn is a part of, in sort of way, told me that I need to embrace darkness to protect me from this evil light being that is benevolent force that I have an affinity for in my genes and soul to use. And I use this darkness energy, and what happened was this dark force field around me was protecting me from this light being. It was a big veil that looked like a force field from a sci-fi or magical fantasy show, and it looked like a dark web. It looked like a web that was made out of energy. And then after that, another one that looked like a screen that was tinted around me was manifested, and the darkness being was unable to start hitting me and making me feel fear whenever I started to use this darkness energy to protect me from the light being. Then the light beam started to hit me even more and make me feel fear even more. And what happened was that the tinted one that made everything look a little darker, and it made the brighter things look darker. It started to make the light beam look like a darkness beam. Like it started to make the pure white being like inverted colors on a paint program. It started to make the light beam look like a dark beam. It started to invert the color from pure white light to pure black, pitch black. And I think that's what that tinted shield that was around me, this force field around me, was meant to do. It was meant to protect me from evil light, from light in general, by making the light, inverting the light, everything around me that would be light or white, like that light, my light right here, and then my white walls look black and dark, and just made everything look dark and black. I think that's what it's supposed to do in order to neutralize the frequencies of light of the light being around me that was hitting me and making me feel fear, and other light sources that are evil and detrimental. Then when I woke up, uh, I was trying to drift off to sleep, but I wasn't able to do so because my body started to hurt a little bit, especially my back area, and I felt like I was going to have to go to the bathroom. Then I was able to get back to sleep a little bit, but I was unable to do so because every time I would close my eyes, I would see images of the light being around me and it being mad and stuff, and it wanted to attack me. And it even did. And then I remembered the force of the benevolent darkness that had to do some with Saturn telling me to use the darkness powers that I have. I was using those powers of my imagination every time I would drift off to sleep. Try to drift off to sleep, and I see the images of the light being attacking me, and I did a death scythe, like the Grim Reaper's death scythe made out of darkness energy. It started to attack it back, but mostly putting up my darkness shield and stuff like that. And I was thinking about darkness and darkness and darkness and just even more darkness. Just making everything around me in my imagination black in order to neutralize and destroy the light beings like that is being irradiated from its body. Because evidently, the more people can see its light, the more I was able to see its light and perceive its light, the more it became angry and the more powerful it became. Therefore, I needed to focus less on it and more of darkness, and to make it look dark, the light being look dark, invert the colors in my head with this tint force field, and to make everything dark, to make sure everything in the dream that appears bright, dark, just make sure everything is pitch black, that I can't see it. Like, as if I didn't have a dream at all, or have it, or be able to see this in my head at all. I think it was my third eye pineal gland picking this up, and that I was actually stepping out of my body with a sleep paralysis. I was doing astral projection or something like that. And instead of waking up in my bed in my physical body in these dreams, I woke up in my astral body instead. And that's what happened when I woke up in my astral body, in the astral spirit realm, is that I got attacked by a light being. Then I thought theirs was the exact opposite to the thing that actually was helping me out, which was a darkness being, dark force made out of darkness. And then I wasn't able to get to sleep after that because I had to go to the bathroom a lot and I had some gas. And what happened is that I realized that I wasn't able to sleep from even my sleep music that I usually play. I usually play a certain type of sleep music, but the sleep music wasn't helping me out at all. I realized that the sleep music that I was playing wasn't making me go to sleep.
Everything about Mint Mobile seems unreal, and now we're introducing 5G home internet for $30.
This was these mushroom videos, peaceful night, healing stress, anxiety, and depressive states, detox negative emotions, relax, sleep, and deep healing. That wasn't able to make me go to sleep. And you know what I said? That maybe I need to start listening to satanic music and pagan music because Satan and his demons are actually good guys. They are gods of the primordial darkness. They have a astral realm that Christians call hell, but it's actually a heaven, in a realm that is made out of darkness, but life exists there in abundance, and it's not as horrific as Dante's Inferno. And there's mushrooms and stuff that grow in it. And Satan and Saturn are the same being. At least that's what I think. And I decided that I would play extreme, brutal metal music. Because heavy metal music channels and it calls upon entities of the primordial darkness, beings of death, darkness, and destruction. And evidently, beings of death, darkness, and destruction like me more, and like what I'm about, freedom, truth, and justice, which are very good things. That beings of light attack me, because evidently these beings of light that people say are all so good and shit like that are not good at all. They're evil. They're absolutely fucking evil. What kind of benevolent being attacks somebody on the astral realm when they accidentally wake up in the astral realm? What people would call sleep paralysis, but is actually waking up with astral projection, an astral awake of the awakening of the astral body, waking up in that dimension in the spirit realm. Who fucking attacks somebody when that's like one of the few times that they actually did that? I think that these evil light beings are the beings that are responsible for the reincarnation death trap that the Gnostics talk about, the archons, the demiurge, and that this was an archon that was working for Yaldabaoth the demiurge or something. I think that it's what these beings that Madame Blavatsky talks about. Tanat from the Silver Legion talks about evil light beings and how not all beings that produce light and look like light are very nice. And I think that this being is a parasite in that it sucks off the good energy, even the primordial darkness energy within all life forms and souls and spirits, to make itself stronger and to make itself brighter at the cost of others. And that, whenever I caught upon this force, the primordial darkness that was hacking into Saturn, which is also got to be the demiurge, I think it was teaching me how to use Saturn's darkness against Saturn in order to fight off Saturn Yaldabaoth's light beam that Saturn Yaldabaoth sent after me. And that it wasn't actually Saturn, because Saturn's my enemy. It's Yaldabaoth the demiurge. And that this being was on a galactic and universal level, and it trumped Saturn and most of the planets, if not all, the entire solar system's powers. And I think it could have been the darkness of outer space itself, the primordial darkness itself, and its consciousness and intelligence and Akashic records speaking to me through Saturn, because evidently Saturn is such a chaotic and parasitic planet that you can piggyback off of its frequencies and use its frequencies and energies. This God, entity Saturn, frequency and energy against it. And I decided to channel the Geoetta demons, which are pagan gods. With these hour-long videos, and I was able to get to sleep. And the light beam stopped attacking me when I was playing heavy metal music. And I also stopped having anxiety problems and overthinking things as well when I started listening to this music. I also was so stressed out that I had to start taking some ashwagandha. I took 2 of the ashwagandhas because I was feeling so anxious by what the light beam did to me that I had to take 2 of these to get the stress down, the cortisol down. I started listening to these music right here, and it helped me go to sleep. I also was going to listen to this one, Satan Unholy Trinity Unity Call Mantra, Agios O Satanas, 1 hour. Because I know that these beings that are involved in Satanism aren't actually Satan itself. Satan itself don't actually exist. But I know the entities, the extraterrestrials that are agreeing with Satanists about Christianity and Judaism, Islam being evil, piece of shit religions that have evil piece of shit, tyrannical extraterrestrial beings, like Jehovah using them to dominate and enslave humanity. I agree with these beings that is associated with Satanism, because these beings are rebels, like George Washington and the Founding Fathers being rebels, and George Washington and the Founding Fathers are Freemasons and practice paganism, and were associated with the same beings that modern-day Satanists, pagans, and Luciferians deal with. And these beings even deal with atheists, but they call themselves extraterrestrials and use more physical, third-dimensional technology to deal with atheists, because atheists don't believe in spirituality in the astral realm. because atheists are more locked down in third dimensional material reality. And that's why this satanic music was also something good that I could have listened to instead of heavy metal, but I listen to heavy metal because I'm very used to heavy metal, and I like the beats of it as well. And also, I don't like this satanic music right here because it's too soft. I wanted to listen to something that sounded more like a war ballad, a declaration of war. This satanic music sounds like Christian music. It sounds too melodic. It doesn't sound heartbeat like marching and yelling and screaming. It doesn't sound violent and offensive enough. That's why I didn't listen to it. Because satanic music, there is soft satanic music that sounds like Christian music, and then there's hard satanic music that sounds like war ballads and a declaration of war and stuff like that. I don't like the hard stuff. I don't like the soft stuff. And I don't see how that's fucking metal music. That don't sound metal to me. And then I got really pissed off when I was seeing this over here. It was saying Tyrant Goat Gall Dracona. I was saying Satan is not a tyrant. He's a rebel. The extraterrestrial entities that are what Satanists really work with, true spiritual Satanists and Luciferians and pagans work with, is not a tyrant. They are rebels and anarchists. And then it said Dracona. Not all entities that, and especially most entities of paganism, Satanism, Luciferianism have nothing to do with Draconia, the Alpha Draconians, the Draco. Unless they're talking about actual dragons, which is what Tanakh from the Silver Legion is. And what Ra-Imhotep says that vampires are on the 4th and 5th dimension, actual dragons, where they go from drinking blood and sucking life force energy. They go from sucking energy of the elements and manipulating the elements with their bodies and flying with dragon wings and having elemental powers like from Avatar: The Last Airbender. I wasn't able to listen to this because this right here is not Satanism at all. This is fucking Jewish bullshit called Satanism. And it even says sign of Moloch. Moloch was worshipped by the Jews, the Israelites. Moloch was not worshipped by Europeans. True Satanism, Luciferianism is the worship of Prometheus, Vulcan, Enki, and Venus, Ishtar. Not this fucking Moloch stuff. That's fucking Babylonian Semitic bullshit. And I'm just getting really sick and tired of the fucking beings that I'm at war with, because evidently these beings that I'm at war with have made notice of me, because I think the reason why I woke up with a headache today and I felt like it was hit was because this light beam did something to me, and this light beam might be the reason why I wake up with neck pain. Because this being is trying to choke me or hitting my head or something, or trying to squeeze something into my head, like a memory block or something like that, or some sort of blocking of my consciousness, my nervous system. And I think that this was the first time I've confronted this light beam that might be my perp from the astral plane, that it is a extraterrestrial entity that is made out of light, that is evil, that is attacking me because it's a parasitic, evil extraterrestrial entity made out of light that sucks orgone energy, life force energy like a vampire, because it is a vampire. It's a vampire made out of light. And it sucks and parasitizes off of the orgone energy, life force energy of humans, life forms, and it sucks their divine darkness, their primordial darkness energy, which is what all life forms need. All life forms need darkness in order to survive. Without darkness, droughts are caused by the sun. The sun burns everything, fire burns everything, and light can give people delusions and illusions to things that aren't there, like a mirage or like an actual hallucination where a person's retina nervous system is interpreting the light spectrum and also sound, because sounds light too. Light and sound are both frequencies, vibration, where a person can't interpret reality well. You need darkness, because darkness sobers you up to what is real. Darkness is a control. It's like the agar plate and the light being in the agar plate, and that the darkness that is within the agar plate helps the light be seen in all of its different spectrum of light, like which is the rainbow. And that this being wants to keep on being a fucking prick, a parasite, and being a crony, fascist, monopolist, and having all the monopoly over all the darkness energy and life force energy in order for to turn all the life force energy and darkness, primordial darkness energy out of life forms into light for its body, so where it can be the brightest motherfucker on the astral plane, along with its fellow parasite light beings, these evil light beings. Because what I do is that I do the exact same thing that this light being does with my alchemy and my witchcraft. I turn darkness into light, and the darkness I turn into light is my own damn darkness that I have in my soul. My own primordial darkness I turn into light. I don't steal other people's darkness and life force energy and turn that into light, and especially don't attack people, no matter if it's in the physical dimension, spiritual dimensions, and turn that into light. I especially don't do this to innocent, helpless people. I only do this sort of things to my enemies that deserve it, because they're using their life force energy, both the light and the darkness, because we all have light and darkness in us. And this light being, it showed me that it had darkness in it, but it didn't have that much darkness in it if it had to get fucking darkness and life force energy from others, like a fucking parasitic worm. You see, the more darkness you have, the more darkness you have in your body to turn into light. The more darkness in your soul, the more darkness you have to turn into light. Not having enough darkness energy is overall not having enough energy at all. You need to have primordial darkness energy to balance out your light energy, because your light energy can turn into darkness energy, and your darkness energy can turn into light energy. And orgone energy that Wilhelm Reich talks about, that is also called Qi by the Buddhist monks, and Reishi and ether, is within all of our souls, and that there is two forces that make up your soul, your eternal and infinite energy, and that is your primordial darkness energy and your primordial light energy, and you need both of them. And this thing had a fucking energy imbalance because it didn't have enough darkness in it, and that's why it had to take darkness from others by brute force, and that's by doing what it did with me when I woke up in the astral realm, and that's to attack me and made me feel fear. Asshole. And when I was outside collecting mushrooms today, and along with acorns, I was being harassed and everything. And they were harassing me about me balancing the light and darkness in me in meditation while I was picking mushrooms up for visualization and thinking deeply. And then I realized that when I was outside, I was feeling a lot better and my neck was stopped hurting, and especially stopped hurting when I got deep in the woods. And for some reason, every time I come back home, my neck starts hurting again. And it especially starts hurting me when I get back in my bed or after I am done waking up. And it also starts hurting me whenever I think deeply and I get into a deep meditative state. When I just think a lot and I'm able to visualize a lot. There has to be something ahead of me. And I especially get attacked whenever I use my darkness energy visualization, my darkness visualization to protect myself from evil. Because darkness is not evil. Darkness is a necessary thing for existence. You cannot exist without darkness. Just as much as my white door can't exist without a shadow, nothing else can exist without a shadow. My door ain't evil because it has a fucking shadow. It's not even a person, for fuck's sakes. You can't even take it to court and it can't do anything. It can't talk. That's what a person with dementia or a fucking mental retard would think. And every time I use my darkness energy that I have the ability to manipulate with my visuals in my head, every time I use this, I get attacked even more. When it's what I apparently have the ability to do and I have affinity and mastery over it. And these evil light beings and these evil beings that hate that I use this extremely powerful energy / techniques to protect myself and others from tyranny and evil don't like it that I can actually do that. That I can make force fields made out of darkness that take the energy, life force, orgone out of evil people, evil things, and parasites like ticks in order to destroy them, in order to clean my environment and protect myself and my surroundings from evil by using this darkness energy as vampiric energy that sucks the life force energy out of tyrants and evildoers, everything malevolent, and sends their attacks energy back at them as weapons, along with sucking the dead orgone energy and the darkness and light and the environment and using that energy as weapons like death rays upon everything malevolent in my environment. These beings really don't like me at all. I'm basically like a mushroom, a spiritual mushroom, and mushrooms that live in darkness. And that's probably why I don't need as much sunlight as other people. I'm sensitive to sunlight, because I think the reason why I'm sensitive to dark light is because I'm a darkness elemental. I'm a child of the primordial darkness of our universe, like Admiral Mander is, that Tanakh works with, and that I was a mushroom when I was a spirit, when I was a more primitive, inferior, lesser, complex, and advanced life form in my past life, that I was one of these guys. I was a mushroom billions of years ago before my spirit evolved into a soul and I became a human being for reincarnation and evolution, along with other types of sentient, intelligent life. And that my mushroom abilities became darkness elemental abilities, where I'm able to use the primordial darkness with my own DNA and soul as a weapon to protect myself, but I can also use it to cleanse my environment and to give energy back to the environment as well. Because darkness, like what a black hole is and what a black person is, it absorbs more light and heat. It's a vampire. Blackness and darkness is a vampire that sucks light and white. And then it turns it into heat, and then it will disperse that light and heat that it absorbs back out to the environment where it thinks it's necessary, depending on the consciousness of this dark being. Regardless if it's a black person using their warmth and heat to make Cajun food, Southern food, you make something with love, or a solar cell using all the solar radiation and energy to be used for electricity. This fucking light being is selfish, self-centered bully that did this to me. It pisses me off that darkness gets a bad rap, that people say everything that isn't darkness and miss darkness and darkness itself is evil. Oh, really? What happens if I turn Jupiter into a sun? If I turn Jupiter into a sun, and especially Mars into a sun, planet Earth would become like Mercury or Venus. It would be too hot and bright of a planet for life to thrive and to just survive, because it would be too much fucking light and heat and everybody would fucking die. You need darkness to cool things down and to put things in the Goldilocks zone when it comes to astrobiology and the Drake equation for conditions to be right for life. And I'm sick and tired of these kids' TV shows saying that darkness is evil and shit. I hate Western TV shows, cartoons, because they teach that darkness is evil and that light is good. I like watching anime from Japan, because Japan has even vampires and werewolves as good beings. Like Rosario Vampire, Vampire Princess Miyu, and Vampire Knight. And then they also have beings that are able to manipulate darkness and darkness magic being used to save people's lives rather than destroy them. Like Yami from Black Clover using his darkness power to protect his kingdom, to protect his king, and to protect innocent, helpless people.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Whoa.
You see? This is one of my favorite animes, by the way. This is what my darkness abilities look like on the astral realm. It kind of looks like what Yami is able to do. Dark Cloak Dimension Slash. Unlike this guy. Except I have a Dreamy Percept sight made out of darkness and can manipulate darkness instead of a Japanese samurai sword. It's my primordial darkness depth sight.
切った魔法の影に紛れお互いに引き寄せ合ってあったこいつなんという集中力
I need to see if mother has gone home yet. No, they haven't.
大丈夫君ならできるよ異邦人の俺を魔法騎士団団長にしちまいや俺めちゃくちゃやっちゃうよわかるよ俺の魔法がちょっと珍しいからって君ならできる
And my magic is rare, my alchemy, my scalar frequency energy is rare because it's the frequency scalar energy and harmonic of darkness itself. And I could do monozone in real life, but I call it my fractal scalar field. And that's what my dark tint field or inverted field does to light. Turns it into darkness. And turns darkness into light. And that's an evil demon right there, an evil entity. That's what I do with my darkness abilities. I kill demons, or evil demons, evil angels, evil extraterrestrials, evil anything with my ability.